Hi there, I'm Lisa-Skye, and today I'm in conversation with Aimee Nichols. Aimee, welcome.
Thank you, Lisa. It's nice to be here.
Now, what are you all about?
What am I all about? I am about a few different things, but one of the main things that I am about is writing erotic fiction, which is something I've been doing for a very long time and something I greatly enjoy doing and have many thoughts and feelings about.
Excellent. It's a subject I don't know a lot about. Is it like any other genre in that they have kind of trends and certain popular things? And
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And I think more so than any other genre of writing, I think ebooks have really helped with just an absolute explosion in popularity. I remember reading an article about trends in ebook downloads, so adults downloading erotic fiction, but also downloading children's novels, because the whole thing is, you know, you might not want to sit on the train and read Harry Potter, but you can read Harry Potter on your phone or on your Kindle and no one will know. And same thing with erotica. You can be reading, you know, unicorn fisting porn and nobody needs to know.
is that one of the trends?
No, but I'm just going to cancel my plans tonight and go home and make that a thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, how can erotic fiction be useful to people, like outside of just titillation?
Well, and you know, we must never discount just the joy and the wonder of titillation as well, but I actually think it can be much in the way that like visual porn can be as well. Like it can be something that you can use like by yourself with a partner, not just for titillation, but also to learn more about what you like and what you're interested in. I know a lot of people who have had like sex-related trauma who've used erotic fiction as part of their recovery process, because it's a way of exploring their sexuality that is very, very safe. Like it doesn't get much safer than just sitting and reading a story. And also just, I think there's a lot of like really amazing writers out there working in the genre who are, you know, creating beautiful pieces of art that are also, you know, really intelligent about sex as well, and also just really hot too.
Well, that's interesting you say that, because I know that there's a massive glut of erotica right now. How do you get the good stuff? Like, how do you find the gold amidst the kind of 50 shades of grey?
Very nice. There's a few different ways that you can sort of go about things. I mean, there's a lot of really good, if you're someone who reads book reviews, there's a lot of really good review sites out there, and you can search by like categories that you might be interested in and all of that kind of thing. There's also like some of the traditional erotica publishers, some of which are based in the UK, a lot of which are based in the US, are still publishing all of the anthologies and all of that kind of thing that they've been publishing for years, and that's actually often a really good place to start, because they'll be you know, really well written, well put together anthologies. You'll start figuring out some authors you can follow if you like particular stories and all of that kind of thing. And as well with ebooks, the nice thing is that you can just download a sample and away you go. And if you don't like the sample, you can just delete it. So easy.
Cool. Now, I did mention 50 Shades of Grey before. There is something you alluded to off camera.
Yes.
That it wasn't entirely awful and an abomination.
I wouldn't go that far. I just have, there's one little thing I have that actually makes me really fond of it. Okay. Now, obviously, you know, it's a terrible piece of writing. The sex is bad and they should feel bad. And also, you know, it is completely inaccurate in so many of the ways that it portrays BDSM. Like, I'm not going to rehash those arguments because they've been made really, really eloquently. What I like about 50 Shades of Grey, two things tied together. Sorry.
We're adults, we can do this, go on.
I can pun, it's fine. Is that, you know, obviously there are a lot of like read-alike things being churned out and published when that was sort of happening, and I remember walking into Big W, I think it was one day, and they just had this massive table of porn.
Big porn?
Yeah, and it was...
discount porn?
Yeah, like $10 porn. It was great.
Bulk budget porn.
Get yourself a porny
Okay, so
bargain.
I
And
guess,
like the whole
yeah.
thing was, you know, if you've loved 50 Shades of Grey, like read all of these. And some of them are, you know, writers who've been, like books by writers who've been working in that field for a very long time with very little recognition. So stuff was
Yeah.
being reissued, and I was just like, I have just walked into, you know, this big box mum and dad kind of shop, and there's just this huge table of porn. That makes me really happy. The other thing about it that made me really happy was just, you know, on the tram on my way into work, and just, you know, every second woman would be reading 50 Shades of Grey, and I'd just be like, I love that you're reading porn on your way to work and you are completely unashamed of that. And, you know, it got people talking. Like,
Yeah.
my family have always known what I write, but they've always just been, that's a bit strange. And then they wanted to talk about 50 Shades of Grey with me, because they're like, well, that's kind of what you do, isn't it? Sure.
Like that, but better.
Yeah, but it was nice because for the first time they had a framework in which they felt comfortable asking me about my work.
See, that's good. So 50 Shades of Grey is like a puffer fish, but it's covered in waste, and it's also syphilitic, but then it smiles at you, and it's got a diamond in its tooth, and it's got all these cool mates. So you hate the puffer fish, but there is a shiny and also mates.
That's
And the mates are cool.
Well, the mates, I was going to say the mates are carp and they've all got herpes, but...
Oh, no. No. Well, your writing is definitely not carp herpes. I loved Lipstick. There was like
you.
an orgasm per page. It was so good and so diverse. And so if people are looking for good queer erotic fiction, anthology is the best place to start.
I always think, well, unless you're someone who just despises short stories, I think anthologies are a really good way to go about it.
And my tip is reading them to your lover, like having each other read to you. Yeah. Especially when you're getting blown. I think that's really lovely, especially if it's really funny, cheesy erotica and being blown and then they snort. And that's, you know.
This is what, like, the novelty erotica and, like, your Chuck Tingle and all of that kind of stuff, and, like, your dinosaur erotica. Oh, my God, I love Chuck Tingle.
Okay.
We probably don't have time to talk about Chuck Tingle, but he's amazing.
Wonderful.
And he just writes very, very strange novelty erotica and makes a living from it. And no one knows who he really is.
Oh, my God. Well, I do dig strange. Okay, Aimee, thank you so much for being with us.
Thanks for having me.
And thank you for watching.